Hey everyone, it's Snoo. Welcome to a quick little impromptu video about a very cool and powerful interaction that I discovered organically just the other day as I was finalizing my League Start build guide. It barely made its way into the guide. It was basically the last and final sort of major change that took place in the guide. So happy it made it in there. I want to show you specifically what it was I found. It's probably the coolest tech that I've seen in the last week anyway. And really happy that I discovered it. It is being used by a very select few people if you look at PoE Ninja, so definitely very few people know about this. It has everything to do with momentum support and how that skill gem ties into shield charge and just how much it improves shield charge as a skill gem. So with shield charge, it's definitely not going to be a primary skill link. So it's just kind of a luxury gem. If you have the extra gem slot for it, people will always attach faster attack support, which give a huge amount of faster attacks. Of course, shield charge scales off of faster attacks, so people always do that. But in the event that you have perhaps an extra skill gem, a third gem for the link that you can spare in there, which I did, which is how I discovered it, this is going to be really good. Extremely good. Of course, you do need to be using shield charge in the first place for this to be useful, but at any rate, I would like to educate you on what this interaction is, and I prefer that the community is more educated on things always. So at the very least, you're going to walk away knowing about a cool new interaction. Let's go ahead and read momentum support here. It says gain 1 momentum when you use a supported skill. Gain 1 momentum if you're channeling. Now we're not channeling, so that's not very important. Then it says lose all momentum if you move. Now you might be thinking in your head right off the bat, well, didn't you just say shield charge? You're always moving with shield charge, right? Well, now hold that thought. Lose all momentum if you move. Supported skills have a 15 to 20% increased attack speed per momentum, so that's based on the gem's level. Gain up to 3 to 5 momentums stacks before losing it to gain swiftness, again depending on the gem level. Swiftness lasts 1.5 seconds and grants 15% increased movement speed per momentum loss. So if my math is correct, that would be 75% increased movement speed for 1.5 seconds, or actually 2 seconds if it's fully leveled and superior. And that's how that works. Now, very important to show you these lines down here to help you understand why this gem is actually not so bad up front, just right away. It has a very favorable programming, shall we say. Momentum stack calculation. Momentum is gained right away when you start the attack, which means your first attack will have the attack speed with 1 momentum, basically guaranteed. And I'm going to show you how that works in just a second. So essentially, if you link up a momentum, level 20 momentum, you're linking up 20% increased attack speed to the skill, if it's an attack skill, because it needs the attack or duration, I suppose, tag to it. That makes it a little less than half as good as faster attack support, just as absolute baseline. Then it says for non-channeling skills, which is what I want to show you, the attacks which put you at maximum momentum stacks will have its attack speed at maximum momentum, despite the fact that the stacks were removed to gain swiftness. So even when you get that last final stack, you receive the credit for that. So all in terms of the programming of how this works, it's nothing but favorable. So that is what I wanted to show you or educate you on. Now I will use my very own league starter for the following league and showcase exactly what I was talking about. But first, I'm going to actually show you Leap Slam, because Leap Slam is also another fun ability, and this is how I can kind of show you that the skill gem is actually being tabulated in right away. You can see it flickering there when I begin my cast, and it's immediately off because I'm mid-flight moving. But you can see that I am indeed getting what should be the 20% increased movement speed. Leap Slam is affected, or its speed, or duration if you will, is affected by faster attacks or attack speed, so having that increased attack speed is useful there, but I would not personally blow a skill slot, gem slot for Leap Slam. No, not good enough. So you're basically just getting, and there is a way technically to get multiple stacks, but you would have to be Leap Slamming into a wall, and voila, I got swiftness. Yay, I move extra fast, but definitely not. Just kind of wanted to show you Leap Slam as baseline. Now, Shield Charge is the one that's really interesting. Shield Charge is a little bit different than Leap Slam. For one thing, and one of the big reasons why this is so cool is because Shield Charge is not only impacted by attack speed, but also impacted by movement speed. which, if you recall, there was a buff in there called Swiftness, which gets you a whole bunch of extra movement speed. So if I use Shield Charge with this, you can see I'm already moving pretty fast, especially if the Quicksilver and Silver Flasks start flowing. But you can see here, this is why I want to show you right here, momentum is for some reason just staying on me the whole time. I'm not really sure why that is, but that may mean, in fact, that each time I Shield Charge, I actually get credit for 2 stacks. I'm going to guess no, play it conservative and guess that it's just the same, that I only get 1. I do find it peculiar though how it doesn't. But here's the thing, remember how Leap Slam, you know, there's the only way for me to get the stacks was to be standing against a wall like this, and then I can get it, right? That's not the case with Shield Charge. If your mouse cursor is close enough to your character, you will Shield Charge in place. And if you have fast attacks, you will literally just have permanent swiftness up. Now, the funny thing is the way this plays out in a map quite often is that somebody may be holding down, in my case, the number 4 is where it's hotkeyed, and especially with any amount of latency at all, which, you know, let's face it, most of us do deal with some latency. I'm quite fortunate. I have very low latency where I'm at. But especially with latency, you're going to run into a situation where a lot of your shield charges are going to be in place. So wouldn't it be nice if you went through them faster, and if it's bad enough, or if your mouse cursor is there long enough, you just happen to get an extra buff. Now, what I'm talking about right here is the theory crafting versus practical execution of what a build looks like. And what I'm basically saying here is that if you run a build with this tech involved, quite often you will have the swiftness buff just naturally, just by playing the map. It'll just be up, and you'll be receiving the benefits from that. Because again, swiftness gives you movement speed, and movement speed does in fact make you move faster with shield charge. The attack speed only matters with the actual speed of the attack right after, that follows after it. And again, if you're standing in place, there is no movement. You stand still, but you're still casting, and you're still getting all of those stacks. Pretty cool, right? So let me show you a little showcase here. I'm just running a quick little map. I know some people are going to ask, you know, I'm not really going to talk about the strategy here. It's just a zero investment Exarch altar farming strategy. This is an Alkagol map. The map mods are very easy. And let's just kind of see how it plays when we're in this map. So you can see that you can see it up there, and that if I'm making sure that my cursor is very far away, I will only basically receive the baseline. The baseline being, oh, sorry, I should probably pick that up. The baseline being 20% attack speed, right? But the second, if I start playing a little bit differently, and let's say I just don't even bother moving, which I'm no longer pressing the left click, then suddenly, and a lot of people like to play this way, especially with like a flicker strike style or whatever, I'm basically only shield charging to move and only killing with Poisonous Concoction here. And you'll notice that quite often I have the buff, and suddenly when I do, I'm moving a lot faster, right? And again, I'm kind of speaking on the practical gameplay of how this actually plays itself out. It can be kind of hard to realize just how often you're kind of spamming shield charge in place. I think for most people, it's pretty often, as a matter of fact. But for me, it definitely happens, and you could even, insofar as, do it on purpose. If you really wanted to raise the skill cap, you could, like, you know, hold it and then hold it and then I want to move fast, right? I want to move fast. Hold it there. Oh, I'm moving fast again. Swiftness. Hold it there. Oh, I'm up again. And you can see if you have a build with a lot of attack speed, the more attack speed you have, the more you can kind of get away with that swiftness buff. Now, here's a very interesting thing here. You don't necessarily have to run it at maximum capacity with 5 momentum, then losing it for swiftness. You could, if you wanted to abuse this a little further, run a level 1 or a low level momentum support to only need 3 stacks. 3 stacks to gain the exact same buff, by the way. It gives you 15% increased movement speed per momentum loss. So instead of 75%, it would be 45%, but you would get it up a lot more often, especially in a practical gameplay sense. And suddenly I only need to do 3 times, and I'm moving a lot faster. And sometimes, you know, you might just be moving with left click, and then, you know, you're going to move faster because you have swiftness buff up, of course. But where this gets really out of control is, you know, if you do something crazy like what I'm about to do here. This is where I'm actually really excited to test this here. I'll go ahead and put the big one back in. Let's say, you know, I switched the amulet for that amulet. I added a few points there. I got Supreme Ostentation, and suddenly, you know, just miraculously got Soul Leader into the build. You know, just because I can. And let's just see what this looks like. Because I'm going to be attacking so fast, I'm going to have that swiftness buff up a lot, right? Okay, just kind of nonchalant go back into the map. And let's see here. Suppose we'll... Timing there. All right. Sorry, I was a little delayed there. Get a little bit of Soul Leader. Oh, wow. Moving pretty fast. How much uptime does that swiftness buff have there? Whoa. Whoa. That's a little bit out of control. That's a little bit out of control. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Might be doing something like that early in the league. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of fun. But yeah, there you go. I just wanted to showcase you that very cool interaction. And again, it is something people are doing. I'm not the first one to discover it, but I've not seen it posted by anyone else. I did discover it organically, so it's a really cool moment. I absolutely love those moments, those organic moments where you figure out some cool interaction all by yourself, and then, you know, you just kind of want to share it with your friends. I'll show you. That's what I wanted to do for you today. Hope you learned something new at the very least. If you're using Shield Charge, if you have the extra gem slot, if you're doing my league starter, you're definitely going to want to take advantage of that. All right, so that's it. Let me know what you think of the interaction. I'd also be curious to know maybe what was your most recent cool tech or interaction that you discovered organically that got you really excited. Let me know in the comments below. With that, more videos to come, more build guides for Explosive Concoction. Halfway meme build, but we'll see. Can't wait to share those with you. But yeah, I'll see you coming out with almost one video every day at this point. So... it'll be sooner than later. Bye for now.